In the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, child stars often seem to have it all: fame, fortune, and a bright future ahead. But behind the curtain, many of these young actors face incredible challenges that often lead to heartbreaking consequences. The stories of these stars reveal a darker side of childhood fame, where the pressure to succeed at such a young age can be overwhelming, and the fall from grace devastating. Mary Anissa Jones. Anna Jones, a beloved child star of the late 60s, won the hearts of millions with her role as Buffy Davis in Family Affair. Her golden curls and angelic smile made her a household favorite. However, when the show ended in 1971, the fame that once embraced her quickly faded, leaving Anna struggling to transition into adulthood. Facing rejection from Hollywood, she sought solace in drugs. What began as an escape from the harsh realities of post-fame life soon spiraled into full-blown addiction. Her once bright future dimmed, and by 18, she was a shadow of her former self. In August 1976, Anna's battle with substance abuse ended tragically with a fatal overdose, leaving the world mourning the loss of a promising young life. Her story serves as a heartbreaking reminder of how the pressures of childhood stardom can turn dreams into nightmares. Anna's short, troubled life stands as one of Hollywood's most tragic downfalls. Donna Plato. Dana Plato, best known for her role as Kimberly Drummond on the hit sitcom Different Strokes, became a household name in the late 70s. With her bright smile and youthful charm, she seemed destined for long-term success. However, after the show ended, Dana struggled to find her place in an industry that often discards its young stars. The transition to adulthood was difficult, and she faced rejection from Hollywood, leading to a downward spiral. By her early 20s, Dana was battling addiction and legal troubles, struggling to maintain her career and personal life. Her later years were marked by substance abuse, arrests, and financial hardship. In a desperate attempt to reclaim her fame, Dana made a brief return to the spotlight but was never able to regain her former success. Tragically, on May 8, 1999, at just 34 years old, Dana Plato died of an overdose, a life full of promise tragically cut short. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman, the iconic star of Different Strokes, became a beloved figure in American television for his role as the lovable Arnold Jackson. With his infectious humor and signature catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" Gary won the hearts of viewers worldwide. Yet behind his on-screen charm lay a life marked by deep struggles. Despite his immense popularity, Gary's growth disorder left him perpetually childlike in appearance, which became both a blessing and a curse in his career. As he aged, the roles that had once defined him became harder to find, and Hollywood soon turned its back on the child star. His financial woes mounted as he fought a public legal battle against his adoptive parents and former managers, accusing them of stealing millions of dollars from his earnings. By his early 30s, Gary was working security jobs to make ends meet, a sharp contrast to the fame he once knew. His personal life was fraught with health problems, financial instability, and relationship turmoil. On May 28, 2010, after suffering a fall at his home that resulted in a fatal brain hemorrhage, Gary Coleman passed away at 42. Judy Garland. Judy Garland's name might evoke memories of The Wizard of Oz and her iconic role as Dorothy, but behind the scenes, her life was anything but a fairy tale. Thrust into the limelight as a teenager, Garland became a victim of the Hollywood machine, enduring brutal studio demands, drug addiction, and emotional turmoil. Her lifelong struggles culminated in her tragic overdose at 47. Garland's story remains a haunting cautionary tale of the dark side of fame. Corey Haim. Corey Haim was the quintessential teen heartthrob of the 1980s. Known for films like The Lost Boys, Haim seemed to have it all. However, behind his charming smile, Haim struggled with severe drug addiction that derailed his career. While he tried multiple times to clean up, the damage had already been done. Haim tragically passed away in 2010 from pneumonia at just 38, a life that burned brightly but far too briefly. River Phoenix. Few child stars had as much raw talent as River Phoenix. From his roles in Stand By Me to My Own Private Idaho, Phoenix captured the hearts of audiences, but his sensitive, introspective nature led him down a dark path. On Halloween night in 1993, Phoenix collapsed outside the Viper Room in Los Angeles and was pronounced dead from a drug overdose. He was only 23. His death shocked Hollywood, cutting short what many believed would have been an Oscar-worthy career. Jonathan Brandis. Jonathan Brandis was another teen idol whose career, while promising, ended in heartbreaking tragedy. Known for his role in Sequest DSV, Brandis seemed poised to take on more mature roles. But when his career stalled, he struggled to find his place in Hollywood. In 2003, Brandis took his own life at just 27, leaving his fans devastated and questioning what could have been. Brad Renfro. In the 90s, Brad Renfro was hailed as one of Hollywood's most talented young actors, with roles in films like The Client and Sleepers. But like many young stars, Renfro couldn't handle the pressures that came with fame. A series of run-ins with the law, including drug-related arrests, plagued his life. Renfro's story ended tragically in 2008 when he died of a heroin overdose at 25. His death was yet another sobering reminder of Hollywood's darker side. Heather O'Rourke. Heather O'Rourke will forever be remembered as the little girl from Poltergeist, with her chilling line, "They're here." But behind the screen, O'Rourke's life took a tragic turn. At just 12 years old, she died from complications caused by bowel obstruction. The sudden loss of this young talent shocked fans and cast a shadow over the Poltergeist franchise, which many came to view as cursed. Bobby Driscoll. Bobby Driscoll's story is one of the most tragic in Hollywood history. A Disney star known for Treasure Island and voicing Peter Pan, Driscoll's career took a nosedive as he aged out of child roles. He turned to drugs and fell into obscurity. In 1968, Driscoll's body was found in an abandoned building, unclaimed for weeks, until he was identified via fingerprint. He was just 31. Edward Furlong. Edward Furlong burst onto the scene in Terminator 2, Judgment Day as the tough, rebellious John Connor. But his success in Hollywood was marred by struggles with drug and alcohol addiction. Legal troubles followed him for years, overshadowing his early success. Though still alive, Furlong's career has never recovered from the damage caused by addiction. Michael Jackson. Though Michael Jackson's career trajectory took him far beyond his early days with the Jackson 5, the King of Pop's life was rooted in a difficult childhood filled with immense pressure. As an adult, Jackson faced a series of legal battles and personal turmoil, including accusations of abuse, health problems, and addiction. His sudden death in 2009 at 50, caused by acute propofol intoxication, left the world reeling and mourning one of the most influential performers in history. Britney Spears. Britney Spears was America's pop princess in the late 90s, but her rise to fame came with a heavy burden. After a highly publicized breakdown in 2007, Britney's life became a series of legal battles, conservatorships, and personal struggles. Although she has made efforts to regain control of her life, Spears' story is a modern-day cautionary tale of the effects of relentless media attention and the challenges faced by stars in maintaining their mental health. Tatum ONeal. Tatum ONeal made history as the youngest Oscar winner at age 10 for her performance in Paper Moon. However, her personal life was marred by substance abuse and troubled relationships, including a high-profile marriage and divorce from tennis star John McEnroe. Tatum has faced numerous public battles with addiction, yet she continues to fight for sobriety, proving that the journey of recovery is ongoing. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore's story, though familiar, is no less compelling. As the darling of E.T., Barrymore became a household name early on, but by the age of 13, she had entered rehab for drug and alcohol addiction. Unlike many of her peers, Barrymore managed to turn her life around, becoming a successful actress and producer. Her journey stands as a rare example of triumph in an industry filled with tragic stories. Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman, once a beloved child star of the 80s, known for films like The Goonies and Stand By Me, faced similar demons as his friend and fellow actor Corey Haim. Feldman struggled with addiction and claims of abuse at the hands of Hollywood executives, battles that have continued into his adulthood. Despite his struggles, Feldman remains an outspoken advocate for survivors of abuse, determined to make his voice heard. Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple was America's sweetheart in the 1930s, but even the darling of the silver screen wasn't immune to the hardships of life. Transitioning into adult roles proved difficult, and she eventually left acting behind. Though she found a second career in diplomacy, representing the U.S. abroad, health issues haunted her later years. Shirley passed away in 2014 at the age of 85, but the image of her curly locks and twinkling eyes will forever be etched in Hollywood's golden memory. Macaulay Culkin. From the adorable face of Home Alone to the embattled young man plagued by rumors, Macaulay Culkin's journey has been anything but easy. At the height of his fame in the early 90s, Culkin was the most successful child actor since Shirley Temple. But fame came with a heavy price. Parental feuds over his fortune, legal battles, and the pressures of Hollywood pushed him to retreat from the spotlight. Though he has made a slow return to acting, Culkin's story is a stark reminder of how childhood fame can break even the strongest spirits. Each of these 18 stars once stood at the heights of fame, captivating audiences with their talent and charisma. Yet behind the glamour of Hollywood, they faced battles that even the brightest spotlight couldn't shield them from. Their stories remind us that fame comes with a cost, one that not everyone can pay.